Hello, my name is Ángel Fernando Manueles, and I'm going to tell you about my story, which is called Unexpected Trip. Uh, to begin, the first thing in my story is the beginning of the journey. It all started one bright morning when my family and I decided to take a road trip from La Paz to La Esperanza. We have been planning this for weeks, and the night before, we had loaded the car with snacks, water, and music playlist. By 7 a.m., we were in the road and excited for the adventure ahead. The weather was cold and overcast, and the road stretched endlessly before us. We had been driving for almost 3 hours when we decided to stop briefly at a small gas station near Marcala. We checked the fuel, bought some coffee, and continued our journey without noticing anything unusual. Everything seemed perfect, and we loaded and sang along to the radio. The the next thing that happened was the unexpected problem. Well, uh, about an hour later, as we were driving along a lonely road surrounded by hills down but with the rain, we suddenly heard a loud popping sound. Then the steering wheel began to shake violently, and the car started to veer to the right. My father carefully slowed it down and managed to pull over to the side of the road. And getting out of the car, we immediately saw the problem. The rear tire was completely flat. The rubber was torn and all the air had escaped. We have never experienced anything like this on such a remote road. We looked around and realized there were no buildings or houses, and hardly any cars were passing by. And we checked the truck and found the spare tire. All the time, we thought we were lucky because we had prepared for emergencies. However, we soon discovered that the spare tire looked old and worn. It was thinner than regular tires and didn't seem very reliable. So the next part of the story is called Stranded on the Road. Well, we started changing the tire. My father used the jack to lift the cart while I handed him the tools, and the water was really cold and it was getting colder by the minute. We've been working on it for almost 40 minutes and we were tired. At one point, we realized the spare tire was slowly losing air, and we had hoped it would last longer, but it was clearly in bad shape. We had underestimated the importance of checking the spare tire before leaving home. Even so, we had no choice but to put it on and continue driving carefully. For a moment, we were truly stranded. The car passing by didn't stop, and the silence of the road made it all the more dramatic. And we had started the trip full of hope, but now we were worried about wherever we would arrive safely at our destination. So the next is the slow journey to the city. Then once the spare tire was installed, we decided to drive to very slowly to the nearest city. According to the GPS, the closest place with service was Chihuatepeque, about uh, 700 kilometers away. We turned it on the azure lights and slowed down considerably. The journey felt endless. Every little vibration made us nervous. We kept imagining that the spare tire would blow out of any moment, and we had been on the road for hours, and the stress made everything feel longer and heavier. Luckily, uh, after what seemed like an eternity, we finally saw the first signs welcoming us to Subatepeke, and we were overcome with relief. The city stress seemed like a safe haven compared to the empty highway. And finally, to conclude, the last event is called the last event is called the Resolution. As soon as we entered the city, we looked for a tire shop. After a few minutes, we found a small local mechanic who examined the damaged tire and the spare. He shook his head and told us we were very lucky. The spare tire was, in fact, of poor quality and not designed for long distances. We bought a new tire and the mechanic quickly installed it. And watching him work gave us a sense of calm and security. And once the new tire was on, the car felt stable again. Finally, we continued our journey back, much more cautious than before, and what had started as a simple road trip had turned into an unexpected lesson in preparation and patience. But in the end, the problem was solved, and the experience became one of those stories we'll always remember and learn about in the future. And that's all. Thanks for your attention.